What is up everyone, and welcome to Digital Perspective. I'm your host Khaled, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how you can create an Uber style app inside Adobe XD. Now if you're new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave that notification bell on so that you get notified of all the new videos and you don't miss a thing. Without further ado, let's get into it. So what do we have here? Now we have a blank artboard in the size of an iPhone 6, 7, 8 plus type size, and what we're going to do first is we're just going to lay out some spaces for our home screen app. Now remember, this is an app for booking cars like an Uber, and what I'm going to do is I'm making the home screen app. So this is just going to be here. I'm placing a card, so the map's going to be here. Where you'll see all the little cars driving around, and then here you'll have a card just to say hello, and below that we're going to have a search box, a combined search box nevertheless, of what the destination and pickup points are going to be, right? I'm just going to drag this down to the bottom a little bit. Perfect, and just maybe make the map size bigger. Perfect. And then what else we're going to have? We're going to have some menu items here for the burger menu, and maybe have a user access here, right? And that's it. So that's basically the wireframe that we've got basic going on. So now we're just going to go ahead and start actually adding some colors and some graphics and some text on top of that, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be adding the map on there. Now the way that I do the map is I basically just go over to snazzymaps.com, and on Snazzy Maps I pick a map that I like, find it. Now if I'm on the Mac, what I usually do is hold the Option command and Option Shift and number 4, I beg your pardon, and that should take the screenshot for you. Well, since I'm on a PC and I can't do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Chrome extension to take a capture of the area that I need. So let's say about that, and once I've done that, I'm going to open the image, and now that I've got the image, I'm going to click and drag it up to on top of my square shape that I had inside XD, right? So that now puts it into the design. What else do we need to do? Let's do the burger menu first. So I'm going to turn that off. Now I'm going to turn the borders off. Now for icons, what I tend to do is, because XD now has plugins, which is fantastic by the way, and I recommend you really check all the plugins that you have out there, is I use one that's called Icon for Designs. Now with that one, I literally go in, type in the one I need, so I'm going to type menu, right? And this is the size of the pixels in terms of the width that you want the icon to be. Now I'm going to leave it at 36 and just want to see how that comes up. And I'm going to use an icon here. There we go. Now 36 seems to be a bit big, so I'm just going to make a note of that on the next one. Size it down so that it fits perfectly horizontally and vertically. And what else we want? We want a user icon, so I'm going to type user, but in this time I'm going to try number 26, and we are going to have, let's say, an outlined icon, right? And just drag that in place, drag that over our circle. Perfect, right? So now that that's there, what I also want to do, so just because I want the icons to have a little bit of a lift from the map, since the map is grey, is I'm going to put some shadow behind the icons themselves. So I'm just going to select both icons, not icons, I beg your pardon, the circle shapes behind them, and hit the shadow button, and instantly you can see that they have a nice shadow which puts them further up than the map there. So let's go on to our next stage, which is the text bit. I'm just going to grab a text here, just going to drag a text box out, and we're just going to say, I'm just going to left justify that, just say, oh, right. Let's try this again, just drag out a text box and say, hey, Khaled, it's a lovely day today, where would you like to go, right? I'm just going to make the font size, I don't know, about 22, and maybe make it white at the same time. Actually 22 might be a bit big, let's try 20. Yeah, let's leave this 20. And while I'm there, I'm also going to just make the Hey Khalid bold. The reason for that is it just, it just differentiates and just really says, "Hey Khalid." So it's almost like if the app was talking to you, there's a slight emphasis on that, so they're like excited to see you, so to speak, right? And I'm just going to hold the Alt and Shift key and drag down so that I make a duplicate of the text, right? And then we're going to add some other text, and this one's going to be for search prices. Search prices are on for 1 hour, for example. I don't want this to be bold, and I want this to be, let's say, 15, because this is not going to be something that's going to take too much of the space, right? Now I'm going to add an icon here. Since I've got this open, I'm just going to change an exclamation mark, but I want the circle one. That's definitely going to be too big, so let's try 16. It's not bad, but we can still size it down anyway, so that's fine. I'm just going to change the color to, let's say, an orange. I'm going to copy the color so that I can make the search price text the same color. Just paste it there, press enter. Now I'm going to select, while holding the Shift key, select both of them and press the distribute horizontally icon so that I know that they're both horizontally aligned. Maybe drag that down. Now be careful, this is just a side note, but let's say your text box is actually this big and then you selected a shape and you horizontally aligned it. It's going to align it based on the text box rather than the text itself. So what I would recommend you do is, once you finish typing, just drag the text box up and then distribute it, so then you have a much better distribution in terms of horizontally, right? Push that up a little bit, select them both, make sure they're centralized. Perfect. Now let's work on the search text here, right? And what we want to do is, since we're merging them, I'm going to make a line in the center from end to end. Right? I'm going to make dash on the right side here about 4. I'm going to turn the opacity down to 15, right? And you'll see why in a second. So what I want to do is I want to find the map icon, which is that one, but let's say we want it to be 10. Right, so just drag that in place here. Perfect. And we want the map pin this time around, and this pin we're going to use as the final destination icon, right? So this is where you want to go. Just put that here, make sure they're both central aligned to each other. Perfect. I'm just going to hold the Alt key to drag this text down, maybe make the size 13 in terms of the font, and just type in my current location. Make that text black. Perfect. Central align that with the icon. Again, hold the Shift and Alt key, drag it down, and just say enter destination. Oh, enter your destination. Let's be correct. There we go. And we're going to make the opacity for this one, I don't know, 25. Let's make 25. Now, since if this is a working app, now you have to remember this as a usability type thing, right? So this is where the UX comes into play, is that you have to assume that if a person doesn't want to be picked up from their location, maybe they're ordering the ride for their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their family, their mother, their father, how would they do that, right? So what we would do is we would drag this out, go to the other side, and just going to make a change button here. And I'm going to make that blue. So what this will allow is, if a user doesn't want to be picked up from the location that the phone GPS is picking up, they can change that, right? I'm just going to make this icon maybe a red, just to highlight that this is where the destination text should be. Once that's done, I'm going to select my grey box and go into make that completely white. And again, I'm going to add some shadow to it, but the shadow this time I'm going to make it 99, right? And the reason why is because you see this really lovely, soft kind of blend on top of the white field. I quite like, right? So you can see that's coming together nicely. Now one thing I'm going to do here, because since this is a card, I want it to be a little bit curved on the border radius. So I'm just going to make it about 8 and leave it like that. Now what we need to add is we need to add cars, right? Because we want to order a car. We need a car. So where do we find a car? We find it in Google, right? So just go into Google, literally just typed in car, PNG top, and literally the third one, fourth one in was this car here. So what I'm going to do is literally going to drag and drop this into XD and just size it down to about that, maybe a little bit bigger. And all you've got to do now is just place them around the map, right? I'm just going to place 3 on each direction. One going there, maybe one going here. Actually, no, let's go the other way with this guy. One going there. And just for fun, one going here, right? Perfect. Now we've got cars. Now we need to add a location, because remember, the phone is picking up our location. So how does the app know where this location is? So I'm going to put myself here. I'm just going to grab a circle while holding the Alt and the Shift key. Just drag a perfect circle shape. Turn the border radius off and then make the circle color blue. Maybe like a light blue. There we go, right? So once that's done, what you want to do is find the layers icon here. And then we can see that this is our ellipse here, and this is the first circle that we created. Now I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. Now we've got 2. They're on top of each other, but they're there. So what I want to do is I want to grab the one behind, which is number 3, and while holding the Shift and Alt key, and drag it from the corner of the transform tool so that it expands the shape of the sign, so it just gets bigger, right? And then turn the opacity down to about 25, I'd say. And you can see what that does is it gives you like a nice little location icon for the app to know, right? And that's pretty much it. You know, I think I'm pretty much happy with how the first screen's got, and I think we managed to do that in pretty quick time. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't, and turn that notification bell on, and we'll be bringing out more videos. So do let us know in the comment section what you'd like to see, and we'll be able to help you out, whether it's photography, video, whether it's design, marketing, whatever it is. We've got this expertise and we'll be able to help you there. But until then, hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.